Welcome back to the No Shave Man Cave. This is the Unshaved and Unfiltered episode. Every week we gather together to talk about the most important news of the week. Stay until the end till you see the hottest topic of the week. It's not what you think. Welcome back to the No Shave Man Cave. We are back with another episode of the Unshaved and Unfiltered episode. Like I mentioned on the intro, every week we gather together to talk about the most important news, topics, gossip. Well, we don't do a lot of gossip because we like facts, people. But we gather together and we discuss them in a very 1 minute and 30 second format that helps me edit. Anyways, I have with me Ellie Jair and Justin Harvey. Oh, Justin Outlaw. I'm sorry. I'm going to put that out. Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine. Anyways.
That's the Outlaw. Everybody knows it's the Outlaw.
How you guys doing today?
I'm doing better than you're doing because I got to go to the temple. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude, rub it in.
Let's not derail the show.
I'm fine.
Let's not start with something that we cannot control because then you guys are going to start talking about. Actually, people, we will have a special series to talk about Lucha Underground. That is coming, starting probably next week. If we,
I was doing research.
Yeah,
that's
sure. Yeah, you were just having fun. That's what it was. All right, guys, we're gonna start with our traditional
coin toss,
coin flip. We gotta mention that unfortunately Jay Tilly is not on this panel, but he will be back probably next week. So we have all three of you to talk about the most important and controversial stuff of the week. As I should say, there's a lot of controversial stuff this week, apparently.
He was afraid, wasn't he? He was afraid of all the controversy this week. He didn't want to step in it.
He didn't want to step up.
We're not afraid. LJ, are you afraid?
I am not afraid, and I tell you what, you can't cancel, you can't edit, you can't hot take hard enough. And after Sunday, there are going to be some crazy hot takes, and I cannot wait until next week. But this week, there's a lot of good stuff, and folks better buckle up.
Yeah, this week being on fire, and we have a lot to talk about. But first, we're going to do a traditional
coin toss,
coin flip. So now, here I go. Everybody imagine I have a coin, and Elliger goes first. Ooh. I'm not even going to let you call it anymore. Anyways, so our first topic of the week was Rhea Ripley's loss of the women's title on the Women's World Championship to IYO SKY on this past Raw. This was a surprise, to be honest. I'm fairly ever surprised on wrestling. As we know, I called the Cena heel turn last week on the show.
Bravo.
Yes, thank you.
That was actually well done.
Thank you. But this was, I was about to turn off the show, and then this happened. So, what do you think led to this title change? It was in such a dramatic fashion. Do you think there is some health issues? Do you think this was planned? Do you think we're going for the shock value? Is she gonna get it back in WrestleMania? Is it better to be chasing than to be the champion? What do you think is this adjustment of booking from WWE, where this is going? Elliger, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. You go first.
Yeah, a great question. Thanks to the Outlaw for joining us here. Jay Tilly, look forward to seeing you back here on the interwebs. But I tell you, Rhea, mommy's always on top. You just got to put that in the old bank, if you know what I mean. So, mommy is going to WrestleMania because it's going to be a three-way dance with IYO. Actually, let's call it a four-way, a quattro, if you will. Now Dan. So you're going to have Becky you're going to have Rhea, you're going to have Bianca, and you're going to have IYO in a four-way dance. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to save night one's main event because the backlash of my guy Uso winning and going after Gunther. So Gunther and Jay will open up night one, and then the main event for night one will be the four-way from some of the most talented women, and this was just a way to get Becky in a match for Mania, who's coming back. And I don't want to say protect Bianca's kind of build, and then there won't be any fault on IYO for dropping the title in a four-way dance. And Mommy will come out on top in Mania once again, 2 years in a row.
Time. Wow, that is some convoluted booking, I'm going to tell you. All right, Justin. Go ahead, Outlaw.
I absolutely hated it. I didn't get it at all. Why is Rhea Ripley dropping on a random episode? Which is cool. Like, I said this before, that in the Netflix era, there was going to be a reset, and that's cool. We're teaching new people how to watch wrestling again, which is great. So, being that that's the case, we have to start introducing turns now. We're having a few these days. We have to introduce some surprises. We have to introduce some belt changes. Also, Rhea Ripley may have shown up in a certain event in Australia for a different company. Maybe there's a little slap on the wrist going on here. I do, however, agree with one big part of this, that the money is in the chase. And if Rhea Ripley is chasing, that draws more interest. However, I do not believe it is going to be in the main event of anything. I think that spot is reserved for CM Punk. I think they're trying to figure out how to make all of these other matches look small enough to make a non-title match for CM Punk big enough for night one. And I agree that Gunther and Jay are going to lead off night one, but I think that it's going to be CM Punk headlining on night one somehow, some way. Don't know how they're going to get there. Don't have all the booking worked out, but I think that's the money. The money's in the chase for Rhea, so I do think she'll get added maybe in a 3-way capacity or something. But yeah, there's a little something fishy going on, but maybe in a good way.
All right. Time. Yeah. Everybody seems to be booking WrestleMania in a different way. I like that. I think I don't know. I don't know what to think about the title change. It was surprising. It felt... It's not like it felt unplanned. It felt... out of place, maybe. That's what I'm trying to say. Probably. I don't know. Anyways. Go ahead.
And if you watched at the end, the way the camera was on Rhea, and it continued to let her kind of boil over, this is a great story, and it can cook for the next 40-something days until we get to Mania.
And she put it on social a little, too. Like, she talked about, like, Io's got my number, and I've never been able to beat her, and this, that, and the other thing. Like, it's a work. It's a good work because we don't know what the heck's going on. I did find it very bizarre though, because I don't want to see Bianca and IYO. I just don't. I do not want that to be the WrestleMania match. There has to be.
I don't think we're gonna get there, but I don't think there's gonna be 15 people on the ring for a championship. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just
strong call with you and booking CM Punk for the main event for night one. I totally forgot that. So I think that'll be a 3 ways.
Yeah, but now we just heard from Stone Cold Steve Austin that he will be in Las Vegas. So
yeah, but that's for Cody, not for...
we don't know. There's been CM Punk talk.
I wish I had some Steve Weiser.
He's going corporate Steve, too. He's going to turn every legend.
I'm fine with that. Fine with that. Whatever Stone Cold Steve Austin we get, it's good for me. I don't care. I'm a fan of the guy for life. No. Okay, so the next segment, the probably the biggest news until we found out what happened afterwards. We will be our next topic, but Cena turned heel in one of the most telegraph turns ever. So the question is this the greatest heel turn of all time? Was this the original plan all along? And when did you realize that it was going to happen? I have my own take.
When you told us?
No, but I mean, when did you confirm during the show that it was coming? Yes. All right. I was like, oh, that is. I think I texted guys like, oh, this is happening. Yeah. All right, guys. Elliot, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, John Cena turning now just doesn't make sense to the child in me.
Oh, okay. I see.
But for the money, it totally makes sense. And
a 45-year-old child, but who's...
Let's compare. I got these little hands. Then you take AEW with Cope, and then you take Cena with WWE. You just totally recooked all of the different rivalries. Now he can pull out the foreign objects. Now he can come out with the thugonomics. He can do all these different things. And there's a lot that's going to come out of this. He's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Seth Rollins. He's going to go face-to-face with CM Punk and eventually come back around and drop the title to Cody. And Cody's going to be in the chase for an entire year. And that is pure money with a face chasing a corporate heel. And are we going to see Triple H on screen? That's going to be the thing that will separate the difference between, or how much are we going to see of The Rock on screen? Is it all going to be taped and all these other things? So there is a bright future for John Cena for the rest of the year. And corporate Cena, oof.
Time. All right, guys. I think I'm going to have to make this a boomerang. Because there is a second part of this that I want to ask. Okay, go ahead. Outlaw, go.
I'm wondering if I'm going to hit some of it or not, but I mean, there was two of the people in that ring are actual Hollywood actors, right? You wouldn't know it because it was terrible. Those guys can act their way out of a shoebox. Oh my God, it was fucking horrible. But at the same time, my very first feeling about the whole thing was, oh my God, I am so happy for John Cena. John Cena deserves this. Like, I was genuinely happy for that guy. He is getting the chance to do something that he has not gotten a chance to do. He's actually getting to come back and not just do some sappy, saccharine babyface run in a company that's full of baby faces. He's getting to actually come back and play a little bit, to have some fun, to do some things he's never done before, to be the bad guy. And kudos to him. Like, I'm here for it 100%. I'm interested to see it. I'm interested to watch it. It is not where I thought things were going to go. I really thought that it was going to be him being a super cheesy good guy versus Rock being the devil, but I like the twist there. I think it does help with Rock's schedule not being there because John's already committed, but we still have our movie star, our terrible actor movie star. Even though I love Peacemaker, but whatever.
Peacemaker is good. Peacemaker.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm here for it. It was super weird. It was very surprising.
10 seconds.
And we're going to see where Cody ends up because I don't think they're going to put the belt on John. I think Cody might retain somehow.
Time. Okay, this is the reason why I wanted to make it a boomerang. We are suffering for immediatism, which means that it just happens, so it's amazing. It's the greatest thing ever. Where does this rank historically? Is this NWO Hogan coming down level? Is this Rock turning on? Is this Stone Cold, becoming corporate? Where is this? Where does this rank? And for me particularly, I did felt that when he hit. It was Seth Rollins, right? I got who did he pin in? Who did he pin at the Elimination Chamber? There was already like
CM Punk tapped.
Okay, right. Okay, so it was
he caused it.
Right. He got curve stomp,
got curb
and then he
stomped
pulled
by
it in,
Seth
right?
Rollins.
And then so that moment I was like, oh, he's taking advantage of you know, of somebody's already out. So I was like, oh, go away. That's what a moment what I thought about. So where does this rank? Where does John Cena heel turn rank historically in heel turns? Elijah, you have 1 minute 30.
Yeah, definitely. You got Hogan turning on everyone and saying this is the new world order. Another really, really good one was Mark Henry declaring that he was getting ready to retire.
Oh,
and
true.
he ended up turning on Cena. You've had Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. That's obviously a classic, getting kicked through the the window, and that totally derailed Marty Jannetty's career. And then you have Hogan and Andre the Giant in Piper's Pit, and the blood running down his chest as Andre grabbed the chain. So I mean, this is absolutely top 5 territory. And where do we go from here with Cena's character and all of his outside interests? So Cena does this, and then he goes back to South America and he's going to record, and then we won't see him again until April 19th at Mania. So I mean he's going to be doing his thing, doing some pre-record type stuff. But where does this sit? Absolutely top 5. I would say top 2. And you could depending on how the wind is, Hulk Hogan and then Cena, because those are the two. They totally changed the game of professional wrestling, and now here we are, brother.
It's time. All right. Yeah. This is. I don't know. I don't know if that's that high up, but what is your take, Outlaw?
I think it's to be determined, and I'll tell you why. Because, quite frankly, I would not even be watching wrestling right now if it hadn't been for the Hogan WCW New World Order turn.
True.
Literally, I had stopped watching the childhood wrestling, the rock and wrestling era that I grew up on. Once you have Sergeant Slaughter running around with the Iraqis and all this crap, I was kind of like, this is pretty far-fetched, and we're just using, nationalism to race bait people into watching wrestling now, and really had turned into that. Yeah. and then, my college roommate, this guy, Chad Zumock, who's a very funny comedian, look him up. He comes running into the room one night. We're sitting there playing Madden, and he's like, dude, they're throwing Cokes and drinks at Mean Gene Okerlund and Hulk Hogan. And we're like, no. Bro, no. Whatever you're saying right now is nonsense. That's not actually a thing. Turn it on. Sure enough, it's happening. It's raining in the ring. The stuff's coming down. And it's like, okay. And it emotionally impacted me. This was my childhood going away. If that is what is happening right now, if people are coming back to wrestling that remember Cena from 5 years ago, if it is reinvigorating the entire sport to where the number 1 and number 2 programs on different networks can both be wrestling shows because of it, then we're talking it's the best heel turn of all time. But until it gets to that level, it has to stay the Hogan NWO. And honestly, I think the Andre the Giant one is number 2. This is probably number 3.
Time. Yeah. I do think that we are suffering from immediatism. However, as unfortunately we will age, all those kids that grew up with Cena as all those hearts that got broken on Saturday. I mean, there's like tons of videos on. I mean, first of all, parents, what the recording your kids crying? I never get this part. I know it's great, amazing content, but like, okay, he's gonna turn. Let me record my kid crying for Cena.
I haven't asked my son about it because he was a huge Cena fan.
Oh, wow!
Meet him once, and Cena gave him a pep talk before his, kitty black belt and everything, and he was a big Cena fan, and we went and saw him a few times and whatnot, and I know he knows about it, but I haven't asked him how he feels about it. So if a kid like that and he stopped watching wrestling for the last couple of years, if all of a sudden he's interested, then that'll tell me how big it is. So I'm going to ask him, and I'll tell you guys next week.
Right.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
Yeah, so dig this. So my son, 25 years old, Army Dog, thank you for your service, Coden. He only followed wrestling or went to wrestling or watched wrestling because of me. Hey, we're going to the show. He wouldn't. He'd be like, all right, he knew he was riding shotgun, right? So we go, and he messages me in the morning. He goes, "Hey, did you know? Did you know John Cena broke the internet?"
No, really.
This cat had there's like over 1 billion views on this thing, and if this guy who is so far removed, he doesn't follow football, he doesn't play fantasy football, he goes to school, he works out, him and his wife spend quality time, he's into video games and stuff. This cat messages me cold, "Hey, did you know Cena broke the internet?" Yeah. This is all about bringing folks back. And like Outlaw said, like, we're teaching people how to watch professional wrestling. We have a completely new platform. We have a completely new audience. And now you're talking about AEW being on Prime. And now everybody's like, wait a minute, AEW, we can watch other wrestling. There's other wrestling. And they're going to go to AEW because they're going to go, holy shit, if WWE is this legit, if Prime is hopping in bed with AEW, you know it's going to be click-worthy. This is brilliant for the cash machine that is the WWE. And, I've had a couple of orders for the WWE, the John Cena spinner title. He turns heel, and there are a few more people that want that title. So hit us up if you're interested.
Heel belt, finally.
We got you.
Oh, heel belt. That's true.
It's a heel belt, finally. That it always should have been a heel belt.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh man, my girlfriend said to me, she was never really a wrestling fan. She just knew John Cena, and she said to me, "Nothing will make me hate him." And I told her, I think he's gonna make it. I think he's gonna make you hate him. Oh, there you go. No, but I mean, out of those belts. Oh, I'm kind of losing you guys here. I cannot hear you anymore. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Check.
You.
I cannot. Oh, Elijah, I cannot hear you anymore.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Just so you know, this baby's coming back. There's probably going to be a little bit of a heel spin somewhere on here, but he will absolutely bring back the Thugonomics title.
I want him to bring the U.S. title. That's the one that I like as a spinner belt. That's the one that I look at and I'm like, that is a heel title. Anyways, we are moving on. We got a lot more to cover, and let's just hope for Homeboy to sit down back again. All right, so yeah, it will be up there. There you go.
There we go. We'll bring this one back too.
Yes,
this one's available for sale. I just bought this for the display. So,
all right, let's move on to the next topic. So this was a great segment. It was a great turn. However, it's not without any kind of problems, right? Travis Scott, it's in hot water everywhere. And I'm happy that we waited a whole week to do this show because we got to hear from everybody about it. Apparently, Travis Scott, legit, as we like to say, hurt Cody Rhodes. Puncture an eardrum and apparently give him a black eye. It was a black eye, not big problem, but the puncture eardrum, that is going to be a problem, like a real problem. Whose fault is this? Who do you think that what do you think should happen to Travis Scott after this? Is this going to jeopardize the main event of WrestleMania, either in one night or the other, or are we just? I don't know I don't know if it's happening right now. But if Cody is on TV, then I'm wrong. But is this gonna keep Cody away from TV for a while? And now we're gonna have to build up WrestleMania with backstage videos and like satellite remote promos. What do you think is gonna happen? And what will be the repercussions for future celebrities to come into these shows? Elijah, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. You can start now.
Yeah, no, great point. I mean, Travis Scott, he's been a friend of the show, friend of WWE. He's, been around and, he's got a custom WWE hardcore title, which they're about to bring back after WrestleMania kind of a thing. And he's rocking it. He's showing up. Everybody's like, oh, man, he shows up with Jey Uso, tries to hand Jey Uso a big fat blunt when they were in L.A., Uso's like, no, I'm good. We'll get it when the camera's not rolling, allegedly. Even though marijuana is no longer on the wellness program for WWE, so shout out to the shout out. But the impact going forward, I think, is going to be, all right, guys, here's the deal. Professional wrestling is a choreographed, scripted element of entertainment. So here's how you're going to interact with the wrestlers and superstars. You will no longer, thump them in the face and bust their eardrum and cut their lip and, do all the things. So I think they're going to take a little more time. I kind of blame The Rock for this because he probably got a little Terramana on deck along with a little bit of the herbery.
10 seconds.
And it was just too much for Travis. He's done stadium shows, but this is the WWE, not his forte. So
time.
Damn you, Rock.
Well, I'll keep my comments for the end. You can go ahead, Outlaw.
You ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Cody got what he deserved, that dumb son of a bitch. It's 110% his fault, and you want to know how I know this? I've talked to the man about it before. When Sean Spears did it to him, he came and helped me out with this NFL thing, and Brandy was looking at him while he was telling the story to me and like 30,000 other people that were standing there. I wasn't special, but he was telling us all about it, and Brandy's looking at him like, yeah, he called for the dumbass unprotected chair shot to the back of his head and got 12 stitches. I'm almost positive Cody told him, because it was a little awkward with Travis dancing around him, to send one in. The problem was, you're correct. They didn't teach him how to do it. He didn't know what to do, but Cody asked for a lump, and guess what he got? A fucking giant potato lump right on the side of his face. He deserved it, and he's probably fine with it, which is why we haven't heard him complaining or throwing any shade, and they're not burying Travis. Yes, I agree. In the future, I think some things are going to change. They're going to work a few things out. We talked about some of this stuff with AEW last week. Production meetings and things go off script. You need to have answers, and when you have somebody who's not a pro in there, these things are going to happen. But Cody deserved it. Cody's fault. Cody asked for it, and Cody got it. So take your black eye and your busted eardrum home with you, buddy.
10 seconds. Oh, wow.
No, I don't even need it.
Yeah, you make good time there. Hold on. Let me just correct here.
Take your busted ear and lip back to your bust that caught on fire, which they could use in the storyline as like, maybe Travis Scott started the fire, or John Cena started the fire, or hell, Brandy is part of the heel turn. And I mean,
I think you're right, dude. The possibilities are honestly endless. Like, I do feel bad that Cody got hurt. Don't let heel schmeal. But I feel bad that the guy got hurt. But at the same time, I really do think that that's why. I think it was an unplanned thing that he asked for, and it's just.
I think so. I'm almost positive he said go ahead, or at that moment, yes, it does seem like that. Now there was a lot. There was a lot of people talking about the fact that
he's supposed to be on tonight, by the way, Tony. I don't know if we've seen him yet. I'm kind of watching a little bit in the background. He has said,
I got soccer on. It's my team's playing.
He talked to a couple of people and said that he was coming out this week, and he's a little lumped up, but he's fine. And he downplayed it himself. So.
Now, Bianca's on right now, but like you said too, like he did this back when he was with AEW, when he did. Right. Like with the chairman Spears with the unprotected, and they even dented the end of the chair, and he talked about that at I think that was Stone Cold.
I mean, and he did.
No, maybe it was another
with the pec too. Cody is a little bit sadistic. Like, don't think Cody is afraid to take a serious bump or a hard shot. The guy is a little twisted.
Or the fire on the table.
Yeah,
and, one of the last matches, it was the TNT title match where the They put the lighter fluid, and lighter fluid burns really fast. So like when you're watching it, you're like, ooh, ah.
If anybody's calling Cody a little bitch, they're wrong. That dude will take a shot. He don't care. He is real strong man.
No, my point was going to a different area. There was a lot of comments that Travis Scott was smoking and stuff like that. Don't blame it on that. Blame it on the right things, because we had Snoop Dogg going to every company of wrestling, and that has never been any kind of problem with that. Like that's what I'm saying. No, don't blame it on that. Blame it on the taking a decision at the moment, not knowing what to do, and Cody being like, "Go ahead, buddy." And
Travis got asked to do something he did not entirely know how to do. He went with it, and like in the street, you tell somebody to hit you, they're gonna hit you.
That's right. All good.
It's one of the largest platforms, pay-per-views. The pressure. He's standing in Gorilla. Everybody's hyping him up. He may or may not have had some Terramana, and you come out, and all of a sudden you hear the crowd, and like he had to be feeling a certain kind of way. So I never once was like, "Oh, screw! He's no longer allowed." He's not allowed in the ring or whatever. Like, I think this is even a cooler spin to it.
It's terrible that he got hurt, but I think this can be worked into the
Travis
story.
Scott angle now. Yeah.
I think this can be part of the story, even more to the story. Like, it gives it a different texture to what they can do with it, right?
Yeah, and
now he can write a song about it, and that would slap even hard. Yeah, that's John Cena's new come to the ring song.
But rhyming. Anyways, okay, all great stuff. Now we're gonna come to one of the news that came out this week. Rey Fenix contract apparently has finished, and he is either a free agent or in his way to WWE, most likely. But the question for this is, how does this affect Phoenix? In the very early shows of Phoenix, how does this affect Penta? Because in the very early stages of Raw, when he debuted, there was an interaction with what's it called? Braun? No, not Braun. The Intercontinental Champion. Braun Breaker, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Braun Breaker. There was, and this is the beauty about watching the international feed of Raw. That only showed on the international feed. So even then, it's like, are they really going to pull the trigger on that? Or are they just like planting a seed in case that this works out? And now they seem they're going in a different direction with Penta. Now they're having a feud that's more like a three-way feud, I guess, now. So that kind of kept him away from individual gold, which I would have loved to see before bringing Phoenix. What do you think is the future for Phoenix, Rey Fenix, the future for Penta, and are we just going to have them as a tag team immediately in WWE? Elijah, go ahead.
No, hey, I totally appreciate, and if Jay Tilly were here, he would be just creaming his jeans because he is a huge mark for Penta and for Fenix.
For both,
and he would point up to his mask / happy rags, and they are not going to be pigeonholed into tag team situation up front. I think eventually they'll end up in the tag team realm. Penta will absolutely hold the Intercontinental title at some point, and Phoenix, he may show up after Mania, and by that point I think Penta will probably be the Intercontinental champion, and then Breaker will be in a whole separate feud. And, Rey Fenix, he's been held kind of at bay. He had some injuries. Then he was the international champion when Moxley got his bell rung, dropped the title, and then sort of was, kind of left to his own devices when Penta left. But I think both of them have amazing futures, and it won't necessarily just be in the tag team world. He won't start down in NXT though. I know that for sure.
Time, yes. Yeah, strangely enough, correct me if I'm wrong. Only Rey Fenix held a individual title while at AEW, and that was because it was an improvisation at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, Outlaw, you have 1 minute and 30. Go ahead.
I hope they don't get back together at all. I really don't. Like, that's my screensaver on my phone. Been there for 9 years. I want to see Penta just get a run. And honestly, I think Rey Fenix could use the time at NXT. I don't think he has to go there, but maybe he'll do the thing that Stephanie Vaquera did, which is to choose to go there. I hope he does. I think he needs it. I think he could shine there. I think he could elevate that entire brand. I think he could be a bigger star on the main roster if he does. I really honestly think it'll be a mistake to put those guys back together. Even in Lucha Underground, they were better as singles. They both had great storylines, and every now and then they would intersect, and it was cool. They do not need to be a tag team. I think that was lazy booking to keep them stuck there for as long as they were anyway. The other thing is, I will say this. I have it on very good authority. Rey Fenix is just across town here in Los Angeles right now over at the Santino Brothers, and I'm wondering if Chad Gable knows where Santino Brothers is. Maybe, how about this one? Maybe Chad Gable's over there right now working out with Phoenix and learning all that Lucha Libre that he talked about when he disappeared. And maybe he comes back with Phoenix. Everyone keeps saying, what luchador is Chad going to go train with? Well, maybe it's Phoenix, and maybe Phoenix comes in heel and yokes his brother up and snatches him right up out of his ninja-ass mask with his Chinese flying stars and all that crap. How would you like to see that? Also, let's never call him Rey Fenix again, because Rey Mysterio's not going to go for that. That was an homage to Rey Mysterio, but if they're in the same promotion, he will just be Phoenix again.
Yeah.
All right, time. Well, I think it's you get the Rey part because you win Rey de Reyes in AAA. So once you win Rey de Reyes, you can call yourself Rey whatever after that. So I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, the werewolves won't understand that, bro.
Yeah, they won't. Yeah. That's too much information in Spanish.
If there were too many Starks in WWE, there's definitely going to be too many Reys in WWE. Right. He will just be Phoenix or some other crappy name.
All right, we're coming back to the last of our topics this week. We actually had a lot of fun, and there were a lot of interesting points and a lot of fantasy booking. Thank you, guys. That's my favorite part of this show. Now, last week, the three of you, and I'm just here so I don't get fined, we were talking about go-home shows. And we were talking about how, unfortunately, it did not feel like WWE was putting out their best stuff for the go-home shows. And it felt like they were kind of telenovela about it. So, but this week, Dynamite was, I'm going to say, probably the best show in months. And it was really a really good go-home show. I know we have Collision coming up, and I know that people are going to be like, oh, so Collision doesn't matter. Well, Dynamite is the stellar show. It's the one in primetime TV in the middle of the week. So that's the go-home show, right? What is making the difference between these go-home shows? Why do we see it, Dynamite, as a better show? Because I honestly think, I'm critical of both companies enough. Why do we felt overall that it was a better go-home show than whatever WWE was putting out? Is it a better show? Is this the way to go? Is the fact that you still need to put, to sell pay-per-views instead of PLEs, such a difference that it makes for better open, it's not even open anymore, but television? What is the difference, and is there a difference? Elijah, you have 1 minute and 30. Go ahead, man.
Hey, appreciate it. And I absolutely think there is a big difference. You have, USA, you have the CW, you've got Netflix, and then you have Peacock, and then you have NBC and Paramount Plus, and everybody's got their hands in there. So if it was just USA and WWE, and then Peacock, and you're paying your $9.99 a month, they'd just be like, okay, hey, cool, no competition, we're just going to phone it in. God bless America, right? Well, WWE is now, I think, going to start feeling the pressure because Netflix and the stockholders, along with TKO and the stockholders, are going to start going, hey, dude, like, Tony and his little hodgepodge crew out of Jacksonville, Florida, is really starting to get out and put out. So we need to step it up. So you're going to start seeing a lot more crossover between WWE, SmackDown, and Raw over on NXT. You're going to start seeing NXT and Evolve because Evolve, Ava is in charge of both now.
10 seconds.
And Shawn Michaels was all over Evolve on Wednesday night. So now you've got a lot of hands in the pot. You've got a lot of stockholders in the pot. Oh, didn't get my shit in.
Yeah. It's a very long topic, man. All right, Outlaw, you got 1 minute and 30 seconds. We can come back to this if you guys want at the end. Go ahead.
I gotta diss everybody. I know I'm wearing the AEW hat. I know that I said I love Tony Khan last week and all that crap, but at the same time, I think AEW did have a better go-home show because they had to. They had way more to explain. They had some splaining to do. I mean, there was so many loose ends, so many things that don't make sense, so much crap to tie up to even get me to a pay-per-view. They did not have a choice about putting on a good show because they hadn't finished the work. And now, and I was at that show, and I'm going to this Revolution thing, and it's really awesome. I'm looking forward to some of it because of that show, but also looking at the ratings, it was the worst that AEW Dynamite has done in the demo ever. In the demo, 0.13 in the 18 to 49 demo.
Yeah.
Still around 600,000 viewers. It's like, and there's reasons for it. NXT got bumped because of Trump and blah, 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 whatever. But at the same time, it's like, AEW's having these great shows, but I don't know if WWE should be worried because it's not really having the ripple effect of getting people to watch. My cousin is a total casual viewer. He wanted to see the women's match. He wanted to see Thunder and some other people. So he tuned in, but he's kind of a casual. And he tells me afterwards, he's like, man, that Tony Storm and Mariah May thing, I want to see that. That was great. But that Dean Ambrose and Edge thing was horrible. Like, that's what he said to me. He's like, I don't get that. Dean Ambrose and Edge. Think about that. Two huge stars. He didn't want to see it.
All right. Wow. I don't know, you guys. How you guys feel about this? You want to go back to this? You want another round? I don't know. I kind of felt like you got him. I kind of feel like you got him hot now. So, LJ, you want to go ahead and counter this? Come on, man. Let's go.
I tell you, we've had a couple of feuds where we were able to include some of the social media, and you see the Hugger and Roxanne. You see them on social media, and then you saw Big E with Kofi and Creed and their significant others on social media. Then you see Tony out at a damn movie debut.
I got something
walking
to say about that.
The damn red freaking stinking carpet, right? So if we're talking about go-home shows, and we're talking about shareholders, and we're talking about things that matter, AEW is owned by one dude. And he is the judge, jury, and executioner of all of the storylines. He's not in the middle of a NFL season right now. He's got a team of folks working on their draft board, just like I'm working on my fantasy football pick list. And, I don't have a team.
It's a little different, but yeah, go ahead.
Same, right? So he's able to spend some legit time with his legal pad. He's got this big yellow legal pad.
10 seconds.
And I tell you, AEW, they've been doing a really good job on their long-term booking. WWE is a big machine, and I am not afraid of what is going to happen. I am here for it. Boom.
All right, time. All right, I got something to say after this, but go ahead, Outlaw.
Well, first of all, I have to counter because I know for a fact that Tony Khan's NFL season is more pressure on him right now because he's an analyst and stats guy, and he runs that department at the Jaguars, and he actually does more NFL work at this time of year because he has to analyze all of the draft picks for the company, for his dad. He actually works more on the football stuff right now. But he is in the office. He is writing this stuff. I think he is doing a good job for what he's trying to do. But the Tony Storm and Mariah May thing is one of the few stories that's going right now that has been a year in the making that is active besides the Cody thing over in WWE. And it's done phenomenally well. And they made sense out of a lot of other things besides Mox and Cope. I think still doesn't really make a ton of sense, and it's not Cope's fault. I think the Mox thing just didn't work, and I really, really hope that gets resolved this week. But go-home shows...
finished, not resolved, just
go-home shows need to be better all around. This was a good step in the right direction this week for Dynamite. I think for WWE, part of the problem is they're only going home to one show, and that's WrestleMania. Everything is a go home to WrestleMania for them right now, and I think it's causing a lapse in some of the day-to-day programming. That's it.
Yeah, just to kind of riven everything here, I always measured the impact of wrestling for the people that are closest to me, but further from wrestling. My art curator, he's, high class kind of person that does not delve into the middle class entertainment of wrestling. He sent me. He didn't send me a clip of John Cena turning heel. Yes, it was everywhere. It was, Jon Stewart talked about it. They talked about it on the morning show. But that's just the nature of the business. But he sent me He does not know that, like who Tony Storm is or Mariah May, but he sent me the clip of them fighting at the premiere of the movie. And for me, that was like, oh my God, they broke away. The one that broke away got the girl pregnant. That's insane for me because like these people don't know, man. These people don't watch wrestling. It's like, oh my God. And she had the belt and all. And he was like, "Oh my God!" And then he asked the obvious question: "Is this for real?" And I'm like, "Well, people get hit for real, brother." So
don't do that to that poor man.
You see Cody hit Travis Scott.
It's for real.
All real. It's all real now.
It's all real now. It's still real to me. Damn it! We should have that guy in. Yes, so that is the measuring for me. That fact that feud. I know it's not part of the show, but it is part of the of what they're selling before the pay-per-view, and that got away. So I think that for me, it's a good direction. There's still a lot things to work out in both ends.
Like the Swerve stuff on the go home was good too. Like there was a lot of great stuff. I like that they AEW really focused on storylines, and there were still banger matches on that episode. But
yeah,
the heavy weight was done by storylines on that episode, and this is what I think everybody in the industry, every pundit out here who's got a microphone and a podcast has been saying. Whether it's the big guys over at Busted Open or the little guys down doing the Garage podcast. Everyone has been saying, Tony Khan, please, more stories. Please drive this stuff with emotion and stories and characters. Give us those other sports entertainment things. We actually do like them. It isn't just about pure wrestling.
It's okay to put them on.
It's okay. And I hope he's listening. It feels like he's listening. It feels like somebody's listening.
Yeah.
It felt good. This episode felt good. It felt like we got some things, not everything, some things that we
And don't
We
worry,
love.
all you AEW haters, it's fine. There's gonna be something tragic to hate on really soon. Don't worry about it. Another Christopher Daniels thing will happen. Another whatever. A sandbag will fall from the sky. Something weird will happen. A ring will fall apart or be too small.
Oh, please don't have that happen. That's just the terrible news that happened.
Don't worry, AEW haters. You'll still have plenty.
You will
of
still have some reasons to hate. Yeah, it will be out there. Well, yeah, this topic gave us more than I expected. Yeah, I think sometimes the companies dance around each other so much that they become the opposite of each other, and sometimes we benefit from that. Sometimes we do as fans. Well, we have come to almost the end of the show. This is our final thoughts. This is where either one of you has anything to add that we might have not covered, that we should have covered, or that we should cover in the future, or just, something that you want to plug. Like, probably we're going to come up with a shirt that says, "It's fine," by Justin Outlaw, because that's the perfect catchphrase. This morning I thought about, like, "It's fine." I can see the quotations and the red.
Error 404, instead of the dog with the house burning, it's going to be Justin's face. It's fine.
It's fine. All right, everybody, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. First, we have Outlaw go first because this is the turnaround. If there's anything you want to add, anything you think we should have covered and we didn't, go ahead.
I'm going to give the Pull Apart of the Year award to MJF and Cheesecake, the security guard at AEW, because the way they did that pull apart this week was phenomenal. I mean, MJF had the lighter lit. It was still lit when he got tackled by those guys. And for a change, they finally sent one of the real security guards into the ring too, which makes it all more believable when the jobber crew from the local wrestling school is out there trying to tackle some top guy. It just made it so much more believable. It is the most believable pull apart in ages. I know they send Jamie Noble and Hurricane out over in WWE and whatnot, and it's all the guys in the suits and then the jobber squad or whatever. I get it, but this one was great. Everyone, please take notice of this. It really looked like they were trying to stop MJF from setting someone on fire. My second thing that I think is another AEW thing this week. Like, WWE's fine. I'm super excited about everything in WWE, but I want to bring attention to the fact that Jon Moxley needs to drop this freaking title. It just doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. He needs to drop it. And honestly, I hope he drops it to Edge and Christian cashes in immediately and takes the whole thing away and no one's expecting it. Like, we need one of those moments. That title has to change because it's holding up the entire industry at this point in every company.
10 seconds.
Jon Moxley has to drop. Period. That's just my thoughts and opinions. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think I share those. That last one. That last one, yeah, for sure. I've been asking for that to be over since, like, probably the second week after it started.
I mean, it's the guy deserves his chance. He is a genuine top guy. He hopes the best for the company. It just didn't work this time. It's just got to stop now. Sometimes you just got to pull the plug on it, man. It's fine, Tony.
It's fine.
TK, it's fine.
There you go. Buy the shirt. Elijah, go ahead, man.
Hey, I'm trying to find it on our website right now, noshavemancave.com. But, so, yeah, Mox needs to drop the title because I don't get to see the AEW world title with his side plates on it every week. That's BS. It's not going to fit in that briefcase, by the way. And, teammate of the week, of the month, probably, is none other than Chelsea freaking stinking Green, earning that check and making names for Soul and NXT superstars down there. Kudos to her and her bloody nose. I love you, Chelsea. You as the United States champion, you are getting your just due, Lucha Underground alumni, and also fought against Penta, no big deal. And,
run it back.
This week, again, kudos. We have new women's tag team champions. We've hit the complete reset. We've got a new women's world champion with IYO SKY, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, what's happening? Triple H says, does it feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania? Yes, sir. So NWA is doing big things. TNA, great show. A lot of crossover stuff. Great to see the Hardys in NXT. And Hardys are about to win the NXT Tag Team Championships on Tuesday. And I'm here for it. What's up? WWE Draft coming up. Get your tickets.
All right. Time.
I got to throw in one more thing, Tony.
Go ahead.
Thing, brother. I got to send some heartfelt condolences to the family of Aussie Suicide. I discovered Penta when he was in a feud with Aussie Suicide down in AAA a long time ago. They were in a long feud, and Penta was cutting this promo outside, and it showed his charisma and his star power. And Aussie Suicide was the guy that helped make Pentagon, and he passed away this week, very young. And his family's trying to send his body back to Australia right now. I think they may have just hit their goal, but hopefully they can do that. So to one of the good brothers from the locker room out there, Aussie Suicide, rest in peace, brother, and to his family, heartfelt condolences.
Yes, rest in peace. I did saw the news earlier. I was going to mention here. Yes, rest in peace. I mean, guys, what a show. This was great. We covered so much. I think this was amazing. It is going to be an hour long. But please remember to share, like, and subscribe. Please make sure to share this to all your friends and watch it. Give us those watch hours. We need so much. Guys, please give your socials. And after that, Elijah, take us out. Go ahead, Outlaw.
At Justin Harvey 75 on everything. And remember, it's fine. It's fine.
Get the shirt. I will put it out tomorrow, I promise.
Dude, we got the NSMC, No Shave Man Cave, NSMC_podcast. You got the No Shave Man Cave on all of the socials, including Instagram, X, and all the things. Check us out on Blue Sky as well. Come follow me, send me what you're thinking, and really appreciate you hanging out here with us tonight, Outlaw. Very, very cool. Jay Tilley, hope we get to see you on the webs, and maybe he comes over to Casa de Ellis on Sunday, and we do a live stream from downstairs. So, as always, to our brothers and sisters at arms, thank you so much for what you do. Hurry up, get your ass back home because you know you're needed. And until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.